Professor. This is Tess Wilson giving a persuasion speech. Hello everyone, my name is Tess Wilson. I'm here today to give a speech about the No Child Left Behind law. Many of you know that No Child Left Behind was put in effect because of the fact that there were many children struggling, and therefore No Child Left Behind was supposed to be a good thing, that all the children would be given equal opportunities, all the children would get the same educational responses, tests were put into place, and all the children were getting the same education, but unfortunately that's not what happened. Some of the things like ScienceDaily.com reported that because of No Child Left Behind, even though school ratings were going up, the dropout rate was astronomical, mostly in minorities and people of color. This is because No Child Left Behind, all the tests were the same. All the tests were of equal value, of course. So if a child was over here who spoke English as a second language, the test didn't matter for them. Therefore, no matter if they spoke English as a second language or not, they were still graded the same as everyone else. They were still given the same information as everyone else, and their language barrier didn't matter. Therefore, their dropout rates were much higher than everyone else's. Just the same as people with color. A lot of times they don't get the same...
Mama, my hand got in front of it a little.
They don't get the same opportunities sometimes as other people do. Therefore, they drop out. They don't feel like that they're getting the educational needs as other people do, and they were left behind, even though No Child Left Behind was supposed to eliminate that. We also have places such as Fox 19 News that reported that teachers were in so much strain under the restraints of No Child Left Behind because of what it was forcing them to teach and the way it was forcing them to teach it. No creativity in the classroom, unfortunately. This also caused the dropout rate to be skyrocketed. Because of this, once again, the school ratings were higher. If you have children who aren't doing so well or who aren't catching on to the language so well, and they're dropping out of your school, of course only your top students are in the classrooms, and your school ratings are going to be much higher. That's a sad thing, even though your school ratings are really high. You want those children who can't speak the best English or don't have those great opportunities. Those are the kids you want in the school so that they have a better education, that they have those opportunities that they weren't given in the first place. MSNBC is another place who documented the No Child Left Behind. When waivers were finally granted to, or offered to some of the states, the majority of the states lined up to get these waivers, and one of the reasons that they did line up to get these waivers is because of, like I said before, the restrictions that were put on the teachers. The teachers were only allowed to teach to the test. That was one of the number one things that everyone has complained about. Me being a student teacher, I'm going into these classrooms, and that's one of the things that the teachers complain most about, is that they have to teach to the test. Depending on what grade you're in, it depends on what test you're going to be taking. If you're in 3rd grade or 4th grade, you're going to get a math, a history, or a math and an English test. Therefore, if you don't get taught history, if you don't get taught language arts or something like that for that day, big deal, because we're teaching to the test, and that's pretty sad. Your kids are missing out on really good information that will carry them along the way. But No Child Left Behind doesn't allow for that. Doesn't allow for creativity. Doesn't allow for things like that. So, No Child Left Behind, even though it was meant to be a good thing, we're learning that it wasn't such a good thing. Thank goodness Kentucky has a waiver that went into effect, I think, in February 2012. So we're getting out of that and hopefully bringing in some really good new tests. The state's bringing in some new tests and allowing for some things, even though some restrictions are still there. We're being allowed some good things. So hopefully new things will come out of that, and No Child Left Behind is out of here. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me today, and I appreciate your time.